Folks, welcome back to the channel. Doug with Stacking Investments here. Today's video, we're going to answer a question from a viewer. I talked about my wheat cents. I went through, this jug was full to about here of wheat pennies. I went through it. I pulled out the teens, the 20s, the 30s. And then what I do is I put it into a monster box like this, and that is roughly one of these jugs and a half of another one that I've managed to go through. Today is Friday. I'm getting ready to get things prepped while I can to, doing some videos, but I'm getting ready for the market on Saturday to sell. Actually got a roll up some of these. I just, on an easy way, I just got a tube marked where 50 of these averages. It's like almost full in this tube. Once I fill it to that spot and I roll it up, the other way I do it is dump them in some bags like this. I'm running low on bags, but I got a lot of penny rollers. And they were asking me, when I talked about this, I purchased these from a collection, and they asked me, how do you know what to search through? Or when you're going through them, if you have a pile of them, how do you know which ones to look for? Well, I was looking for dates to fill my album. I think I wound up getting 52 out of this batch of coins. And the way you look through to see if there's anything good is you get a hold of your red book. Doesn't matter what year. This just happens to be a 2020. I do have a 2023, but just using this one as a reference guide. I don't use the pricing in here as gospel, but it is full of information. You got some double dies, and the important double dies are in here. But what I use this book for, and the way I'll explain it to them if they're going through a pile of Wheaties that they've saved up, is go through your dates. I use the G4 column, and I go through it, and obviously your SVDB is going to be one, but you've got your 1909S. I use the values here to determine, like you get down to 1910, 35 cents, 10S. Hang on just a minute. I got to pause for a second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Dust my brains. But where was I on this book? Oh, use the G4 column, and I run through, and you can see where 1910S $17, but in 1911 45 cents. So I use the higher value ranges, like 11D $6, 11S 35, 1912 $1.25, 1914 75 cents, but the 13S is a $10 coin. Things like that. So I use the, along with the date, you can look at the minutages, and then that G4 column, and anything that has a real high price bump is something you're going to want to look for. So you can make a list. Like 1915D is only a $2 coin, but the 15S is a $20 coin. So if you familiarize yourself, and when I'm going through these, I'm pulling out my teens. Don't care what it is. If it's a teen, I throw it in a separate pile. And then when I get done, I can go through and I can look at them and see if I have anything. Like I've been finding a lot of 16s. I've been finding a lot of 11s, like 45 cent coin. I've been finding a lot of 17s, Phillies, 30 cent coin. A lot of 18s, which is a 20 cent coin. But you can use your book to determine which dates you want to look for just based on value. Let me get up a little further in the years here, because I pulled the 20s also. And it breaks it down a little easier. If you're like, you got 35 cent, 20 cent, 20 cent, 20 cent, even a dollar coin. Those are the low values. 27's a 20 cent coin. 29, 29D, 29S, 20 to 50 cent, whatever. 1930s, a 15-cent coin. But look here, your 31S jumps to a $60 coin. So definitely when you're going through them, like when I get done with my 30s, when I get done sorting out, I look through my tubes and then I look through and I try to see if I have a 31S or a 31D. You know, scale back up here. You know, I might pull 27S, 27D. I'm looking for a 26S, it's a $9 coin. Go back looking for 24D, $40 coin. You know, here's a good one. Your 22D, you definitely want to look for that. It's a $20 coin, but then if you find a 22 with no D, it's $450 coin. 22 weak D. So you can use this book. So when you go into your Wheaties, like I said, I'm isolating the teens, I'm isolating the 20s, I'm isolating my 30s. So then we get up to the 30s, a little better way I can skim down. Everything is 15, 20 cent. There's a 40-cent coin, 50-cent coin. But I'm looking through, there's nothing in the 30s to the early 40s that really stands out other than a 36 double die obverse. I generally don't look for these, but because I only have a few tubes that I've filled with the 30s, I'll isolate my 36s and look to see if I can find that. Chances are in this big batch I'm not going to find that because I did buy this from a former collector. And but that's the best way. Just use your G4 column or the lowest column, and then when you get up here into the 40s, you go to very fine's your lowest column. So you just scroll down and you look for stuff that stands out, like 46S over D. So you want to look at your 46S's to see if you have that. You want to look at your 44Ds to see if you have the D over S. You know, and then you can scroll down. You might, if you're really into it, you pull your 48S's, your 49S's. If you really, we're looking to really isolate and maximize everything. 51S's, I usually passed on those. Those are all pretty common, but you can see on this page here, there's really only, unless you're looking to fill a spot in your collection, there's only really 2 coins on this whole page that you're looking for, and they're both a D over S or an S over D. So that's how I do it. Everybody does it different. Everybody's looking for different things. I'm not so much. I'm probably missing some of the other dates that aren't the double dies, obverse, double die reverses, different things on some of these coins. You get the cherry picker's guide. They go into more depth. I'm not looking for those in here. I'm just looking for what I need. If I run across my 55s, obviously I'm looking to see if somebody missed the 55 double die, things like that. Another point I want to stress, you're not going to get rich going through batches of wheat cents like this unless you happen to hit a key, 09S VDB, your 22 no D, the 55 double die, or something exotic. Maybe you find a D over S or you find a S over D. Chances of finding that are practically zilch. But you never know. You may, very well I could find one. Am I making money by selling these at the flea market? Well, yes, I'm making money versus what I paid. But if you look at the few hours I spend going through them and then the time to roll them up, bag them up, and all that, yes, I'm making money. But if you factor in my time doing it, that's more on the hobby side of things. Like I said, you're not going to get rich doing this. It's kind of fun for me to sit, go through, look at them, pull the certain dates that I want to keep out, looking for upgrades to my collection. And then when I'm done, I could technically take this to my LCS, let them run it through the machine. They'll pay me 2 cents a piece for them. They bag them up. They don't search them. They don't look through them. They just run it through the machine. They bag it up, and they send it off to somebody who pays them 3 or 4 cents a piece for the coins. But from a hobby aspect of it, you know, when you look at the hobby part, it's fun to look through these and see what you can find, and for your own collection. And like I said, I take them out and sell them at the flea market. It doesn't take up much room on my table. It's just this one box. But I literally sold, I had 2 weekends, I sold a box, you know, I had the pennies in this, and I literally sold out in 2 weekends, and it was 3/4 of the way full. And I sold it via rolls or bags of 50. And 2 weekends, I sold completely out. So yes, I did make money, but if you throw in my time and my labor, it really wasn't worth it for the amount of profit that I actually made. So this is more, you want to do this more on the hobby side for the fun of it, and then selling them out to other people. You know, let them look through for some of the stuff they're looking for. But you're not going to make a lot of money on this unless you happen to, you know, if I happen to run across a 55 double die, a 22 no D, or 14D, you know, something like that. It's really not profitable on your end as far, but if you're doing it for the hobby part, it's a lot of fun. You can learn about it. You can find some interesting coins. As you can see, I have some in here. These are pretty good shape, actually, for this batch. This person had been collecting for a while, but I even pass up. I'm trying to find one. I even have some nice red browns and some reds in there, but these are like 50, 54, 56, 57, 58. This just happens to be a 55D. I put that in there, and people are excited. They're like, oh, there's some nice coins in here. And this is something I'm doing. I bought them to look for my collection, and then I turn around and I roll them up and offer them out for sale. And yes, I get a little more money than I would if I just took them to my LCS and let them run them through. So that's my backup plan. I take these. If I sell them, fine. If I don't, fine. Because I always have the LCS I can take these to, and which is actually the easier thing. You know, I bag them up when I'm going to the LCS anyways. I take these in, they run them through the machine, they pay me 2 cents a piece. I'm done, I'm out of it. I'm already at the LCS anyway, so it doesn't really cost me anything other than my time looking through to see if I need anything. But I enjoy being at the flea market and have these out there, and people know what these are. I mean, people look at them and they're like, oh, wheat cents. You know, some people remember them, some people haven't seen them in a long time. So they buy a roll just because they haven't seen them. You know, you find one in your pocket change every so often, but you know, buying them to go through, look for coins, probably not going to be profitable. You're gonna, by the time you put your labor into it, your time spent, you know, the payback is, you know, very slim unless you happen to get lucky and find a 09 VDB, a 55 double die, that 14D, or the 22 no D, whatever it is. But that's how I do it. That's what I'm doing, having fun with it. I still have I have one of these jugs that's about half full. I still have to go through, but that will be something I'll do next week. And so I'll have whatever I sell this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'll spend next week going through the rest of that container and fill the box back up. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to the flea market anyway, so it doesn't hurt to try to sell these, make a little, you know, I'll make a few extra dollars that I can put back for the collection and buy into something else. So that's my take on it. Let me know your thoughts. Are you searching through wheat pennies? Are you doing it to try to make serious money on, or are you doing it like me as just the fun, as the hobby part of it? And you know, let me know down below, and I'll see you on another one.